Hello, hello, hello. Gas prices, food chain shortages, and what else? Global uncertainty. Those are the things that Americans are concerned about. Well, today on Stress Talk with Marcyline, we're going to answer some questions about stress and how you can deal with all of the things that are causing your stress levels to increase. And we're going to get to it in just one moment. Hey there, how's everyone today on the first day of spring here in the Northern Hemisphere? It's a beautiful day where I am. The leaves are turning green, and there are actually leaves on the trees, and they're turning green. Of course, pollen is also in the air. But today we're going to talk about a serious subject, and that is stress. We are all stressed out, and we have been since the pandemic hit several years ago. And many of us are asking questions about how we can get through some of this stressful time and how we can manage our stress levels so that they don't become overwhelming. Well, I have 5 questions that have been asked of me, and I'm going to go through those questions. I'm also going to invite those of you who are out there that if you have questions about stress or any of the things that we're talking about today, if you have questions, you can certainly pop them into the comment section, and I'll try to answer them as long as we have time to do so. First, I always have reminders, don't I? I do. I have reminders. One reminder is to follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and you can find me at mlbaileyconsultants. That's what I go by on Instagram and Facebook, mlbaileyconsultants. You can just find me there. Also, you can always check out my the resources that I have or the experiences that I have for you to help you to de-stress and to keep your stress levels low. And you can find that on Linktree at Happy in 30. That's where you'll find an invitation to sign up for the Smiles newsletter. You'll also find many other things, like even a stress monster quiz to find out which monster lurks in your closet and under your bed that's causing your stress levels to go up, 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 up. Also, when you take the quiz, you also get some information and suggestions about how you can tame that monster. The other thing is you can always find information about ML Bailey Consultants on our website at mlbaileyconsultants.com. In addition to learning about me and learning what we provide to women over 40, you'll also be able to connect with some other experiences that I think can be helpful to you in your fight to keep your stress levels low. Low, 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 low. All right, let's get into our questions. I know some of you are probably watching March Madness and all the madness that is going on. I know I've been watching a few games and it's been wonderful. I love when brackets are burst. Some of you may not like that, but I like it because I never do a bracket. I never put together a bracket. I just love for the underdog to win. And I also like for Cinderella teams to win and go as far as they can go. So, I apologize to those of you whose brackets have already sunk, but I do cheer for the underdog and I always cheer for that Cinderella team. I think it's just fun to do so. So here we go. We're going to talk about. I have 5 questions. Again, if you have questions or comments, just pop them into the comment section and I'll get to the questions as I'll get to the questions and try to answer them as much as I can. Okay, so let's pull up. I'm squinting. It's, when you get older and you wear glasses like I do, that can be a source of stress because it seems like although I have glasses, I still can't see. So what's up with that? What is up with that? I don't know. I don't know what's up with that, but it can be a source of frustration and stress for me. So let's pull up this. Let's pull up our PowerPoint here. I put the questions on slides because I thought it would be a lot easier to actually see the questions so that you know what I'm talking about as I answer. I am not, I didn't, of course, put the answers on the slides, but I did put the questions on there. So that'll give us a little bit of structure as we go through. Also, yeah, so let's just get started. This is just question and answer. Okay, so where did these questions come from? Let me answer that for you. These questions are questions that I have received from women that I work with and some of the women that I am consulting with on stress management. There are also questions that I've been asked just during conversations with people. It's really interesting when people have an idea of what you do. They usually ask questions around what you do, and because it helps them to understand some of the things that they can do to help themselves. So I chose these particular questions because I believe that these are the questions, these are general enough questions to share with you. And they're probably questions that you have had or that you know of other people who have had the same questions. So I hope this will be helpful to you. This question and answer session will be helpful to you. Okay, so I referenced the American Psychological Association survey that pointed out that Americans are stressed. As a matter of fact, Americans are more, there's a higher percentage of Americans who report feeling stressed than there has been since World War II. So that gives you a sense of where we are as a community, where we are as a nation. There's so much going on in our lives right now, and we are all stressed. We are all on heightened alert. And as you will recall, I've always said that stress is a physical reaction, a physical response to a change or to um, some unspecified stimulus. And so when we are encountering all of the things that are going on in the world, in our communities, in our neighborhoods, in our country, we are on alert. We are anticipating something that's going to happen that may harm us. And because of that, the stress response has kicked in and it continues to go. It keeps us on the ready. We're either going to fight or we're going to flee. And in some cases, we might even freeze because we don't know what to do. And so when I talked about the percentages as I came on, it's quite significant that such a high percentage of people in this country are feeling stressed. We're feeling stressed about supply chain. Am I going to be able to buy food for my family? Am I going to be able to get the necessities? We're stressed about gas prices because, yes, the gas prices have gone through the roof. But it's not just that. It's what's going on in Europe with the invasion, with the Russian invasion, how Russia invaded another country. And we're questioning and we're wondering, how will that end? Will it end? And can it end without um, something happening that causes the United States to get involved, right? So we are all on heightened alert. So, again, the questions that I have are questions that have been asked of me and that I thought would be helpful to review with you. So, let's get to it. Okay, so one question is just about, is really a general question. All of these are general questions. The question is, I sit at a desk for long periods of time. Sometimes I don't notice I'm tense until I get up and move. Then it hurts. What should I do? Okay, so um, many of us sit at desks. A lot of us sit at desks for long periods of time because of the type of work we do. And we find ourselves hunched over a computer, or um, keyboarding into our computer or our laptop, or we're on a phone. Sometimes we're doing all of those things simultaneously. And what happens is we are tensing our muscles as we do that. If you're holding your phone on your shoulder, you're tensing your shoulder muscle and your neck muscle at the same time so you can hold the receiver up to your ear while you're typing. If you're typing, you've drawn your shoulders up, and again, you're crunching your neck muscles, your shoulder muscles together. So there are a couple of things at least, that I suggest that you can do to try to alleviate the pain of moving when you move, and to try to alleviate or to become more aware of the tension that you're holding in your body. The first is, number one, get to know your body. Get to know your body. And you're probably saying, Marcy, I do know my body. I know my body. Get to know your body when it feels like all of the parts are completely rested and relaxed. That is, I think, very key, because if you know what it feels like when they are completely rested, when your muscles are completely relaxed, then you have a baseline and you know what it should feel like. So many of us go through the day with our muscles tense all the time. And so we don't recognize. So when they become more tense, that's when it hurts. But we should also be aware of how it feels when our muscles are completely relaxed and rested. You can become aware of that at times when you're just waking up in the morning, at times when you're lounging, at times when you're at a beach on a beach chair and just soaking up the sun. You want to know what it feels like for every part of your body to be completely rested and relaxed. That way you have a baseline. The second thing is to check in with yourself every 20 to 30 minutes. I often say 20 minutes is best. Some people say just check in every hour. I think that's too long. I prefer you to check in every 20 to 30 minutes at a time. So What do you do when you're doing a check-in? When you do a check-in, you are actually noticing where there is tension. Do you have tension along your jawline? Are you clenching your teeth like this? Do you clench? As you're thinking, are you clenching? Are you clenching your hands? Are you holding your pen really tight? When you're typing or keyboarding, whatever you like to call it, are your fingers, cramping because they're so tense? Your muscles in your arms, your wrists, your fingers, around your neck. Do a check in every 20 to 30 minutes just to see if you are tense in any of these areas. If you do that, then you can, if you notice that you are tense, then you can just breathe naturally and allow these areas to soften. Just let them soften. You don't have to do anything, but just notice and let them soften. You can also stretch. You can do some light stretching or some flexing. Okay. Every 20 to 30 minutes, you want to do a check in. And it could be something that your check ins can become a habit. Getting a sip of tea. Your check ins can become a habit, something that you do on a regular basis and you become comfortable doing. So that would be my answer to the question. I sit at a desk for long periods of time. Sometimes I don't notice I'm tense until I get up and move. Then it hurts. What should I do? Okay. Let's go on to question 2. What are quick ways to de-stress? Okay, this is a favorite one. I get this question a lot. It's almost like a fast 30 or something, fast 50, name 5 things that I can do to de-stress. Um, I don't know if I have 5 on my list, but I can certainly give you, I can give you 4 for sure. Okay. The first thing you can do, and I think it is the best way to de-stress quickly and in the moment, is to breathe. We cheat ourselves when it comes to the breath. And I've talked about this before. I've talked about the importance of breathing. The breath is life, and we should treat it as such. But I'm sorry, I had to take another sip of tea. That tea is so good. Breathing is a quick de-stressor, and it's something that you can do anywhere. You can do it while you're standing in line. You can do it while you're at your desk. You can do it in a meeting that's probably boring and, it's tense. You don't want to be there. But breathing is great. And there are different types of breathing. There's deep breathing, where you are actually breathing into your belly. We also call it belly breathing. That's one type that is really good. You can also do 4-7-8 breathing. With 4-7-8 breathing, you breathe in for 4 counts, you hold the breath for 7 counts, and then you exhale or release the breath for 8 counts. That's another de-stressor, another way to breathe to de-stress. Also, there's alternate nostril breathing. With alternate nostril breathing, you hold one nostril closed, you breathe in, then you hold the other nostril closed, and you breathe out of the opposite nostril. And you do that several times. That's also a great way to de-stress. Maybe I should do a session on breathing and the different types of breathing. Would that be fun? Let me know if you'd like to see that. So breathing is a quick way to de-stress. Another quick way to de-stress is laughing. Laughter. I am a big proponent of laughter, and I laugh a lot. As you can see, when I'm doing these live streams, I laugh. I laugh at myself. That's just my thing. And I will laugh with you. Laughter is a big de stressor. It is such a big de stressor that there is a technique called yoga laughter. And that was developed to help people to de stress using laughter as their medium. Also, when you're laughing, you can do a prolonged laughter, the kind of laughter that makes you cry kind of laugh. You can also do a big guffaw, like when you're like, it's a belly laugh, where you're laughing so deep, you're getting all that good air down into your belly. So laughter is another quick way to de-stress. This method of de-stressing is something that I have a hard time getting people to do, but it is screaming. Screaming. I've tried to get some of the women that I work with in my office during their private session to scream. And you know what? I suppose we're just too polite to do that. But screaming is a great way to de-stress. You get in a big, you just get in a big, taking a deep breath. You just let it out. And what you'll find, I think, is that it will feel good. You will feel totally good. Hey, Alice from Ohio. It's good to see you. Very good to see you. Is Ohio State winning? I know they're playing right now, so I'm wondering if they're winning. Just wanted to know. Hey, Allison. I know, from the Buckeye State, my home state. It's good to see you as well. I'm glad you've joined me today. Let's see, what do you say? Heard about wailing to relieve? Yes, that scream sessions make sense. Absolutely, Alice. They do make sense. But what I found is that we're just we're so polite that we often hesitate to scream. But I try to encourage women to do that because it is such a great stress reliever. It really gets the tension out of your body, and as well as the emotion out that you're holding on to. So the other quick way to distress is through movement, stretching. Stretching your muscles, especially if you're sitting a while. Also, remember, you're going to start doing check-ins every 20 to 30 minutes, and you can flex as well as stretch. So stretching, walking, especially at a fast pace, and you can also do mindfulness movement. Mindfulness movements like yoga or Tai Chi. I think those are great, quick ways to distress, and they're easy to do, especially in a work situation or work environment. So, those are my quick ways to distress. I think I skipped a question. I wake up stressed, not knowing what else is going to happen. Is there something that will help me? I did skip a question. Maybe I'll get back to it. Yes, there is something that can help you. And the APA, the organization that I spoke of earlier at the top of the program, wrote an article talking about that shared 10 tips for dealing with the stress of uncertainty. And I wanted to share their tips with you. So I actually printed the article because they gave some excellent suggestions. So Here's their 10. Number one, be kind to yourself. Remember, we've talked about self compassion and the importance of treating yourself the way you would treat others when they're going through difficult times. You want to just be nice to yourself. Give yourself a break. You don't have to have all of the answers, and you certainly don't have to think that you're the only one who has to be able to um, fix the uncertainty, because we know that everybody deals with uncertainty differently. But you want to just give yourself a break. Yes, we don't know what is going to happen, but we do know that if we are patient, the situation is going to resolve. Now, it may not resolve the way we would like for it to, but it will resolve. So, number one, be kind to yourself. Number two, reflect on past successes. There probably have been situations that you've dealt with that were difficult situations in your life. How did you get through those difficulties? Remember that and remind yourself of that. What did you do? How were you able to get from point A to point B? Where are you now? And how did you get there? So remind yourself that you've gone through difficult times before. You've gone through times where there was uncertainty. How did you do it? Number three, develop new skills. And that's what Stress Talk is all about, to help you to develop the skills that will help you to re energize yourself, as well as to lower your stress levels and to keep them at an optimal level so that you have what you need to meet the challenges of everyday life. So you can develop your new skills. Limit your exposure to the news. Now, that's something that I've done. I was a news hound. I loved the news. I'd wake up, turn the news on. I would listen to the news going to work. I'd check the news feed at work. I would listen on the way home. I would talk about what's going on. And I had to back off because I recognized that it was making me anxious. And so limit your exposure to the news. You don't have to, I'm not saying don't listen to the news, just limit the amount of information that you take in to just certain blocks of time so that you're not overloading yourself. Also, avoid dwelling on things that you can't control. We can't control a lot of things. Like, we can't control the weather. We can't control the pollen in the air. We can't control, well, I can't control my dog's barking neighbor. No, my neighbor's barking dogs. That's it. I can't control my neighbor's barking dog. So just don't dwell on those things that you can't control, because by dwelling on them, we feel as if we have lost our ability to handle things, which raises our stress levels. Then take your own advice. What advice would you give to a friend or a neighbor or an acquaintance regarding their concerns? Take your own advice. You know, do what you would tell others to do. Make sure that you're engaging in self care. We all have to take care of ourselves. As you notice, one of the things that I always say when I'm saying goodbye, when I'm signing off the Stress Talk Live program, even in my emails, I always say, take good care. We need to take good care of ourselves, and we need to nurture ourselves as well. Seek the support of those you trust. Sometimes when we're feeling uncertain, sometimes when we're feeling stressed, we isolate ourselves. We don't need to isolate ourselves because we need the support of others. We are social beings and we thrive when we are around other people. So it is important to reach out to family that you trust, friends that you trust, faith leaders whom you trust, the grocery store clerk who you trust, the person who does your hair or cuts your hair, the person who does your nails. If you trust them, help allow them to support you in your struggle. Then I talked about, or the article, I should say, talked about not dwelling on the things you can't control. How about control the things you can? Like, plan your meals for a week. Make sure you lay your clothes out the night before. Do those things to make things easier on yourself. Do some planning. And then finally, the APA also suggests to ask for help. We are living through times that many of us have never lived through before. It's okay to ask for help. You can do so um, you can actually Google therapist and um, therapist and therapy organizations, but seek out help because that's important. The fifth question is, how can I get help? I feel so stressed out. See, that wasn't planned, but here we go. The fifth question, how can I get help? Okay, so first, I am available if you're stressed and you need help lowering your stress levels. I can help you. I am available for consultation. Yes, Alice, control the things you can't. Allison, control the things you can control. Absolutely. It seems simple, but sometimes we just need to be reminded of that, right? Yeah. So I am available for consultation if what you're seeking is stress management. For those individuals who live in the state of Georgia, I am also a clinical social worker and I have a private therapy practice that focuses on individuals who have struggled with depression and anxiety. So I am also available to speak with you as well regarding that. There are a number of self-help resources that are available as well, whether those are through online sources, bookstores. There are a number of self-help resources. You can also, if your company or your organization has a wellness or well-being coordinator, you might want to speak with them because they will also have resources that can help you, um, whether they are self-help resources or whether they make a referral for you to seek the support of a professional. And as I am saying that, keep in mind that many organizations have employee assistance programs. Employee assistance programs offer support for employees in a wide range of areas. You can get assistance through your employee assistant program, and it's often at no charge to the employee. So you may want to check with your wellness or well-being coordinator or with your human resources department to find out if your company or organization has an employee assistance program. Also, keep in mind that if you are experiencing depression, anxiety, or any other mental health challenge, Insurance companies often provide coverage for mental health therapy and support. So you can always check with your insurance company, and they can give you names of professionals in your area whom you can contact for services. Also, many communities have support groups for individuals who have chronic conditions or family members with chronic conditions, support groups for family concerns, bereavement support groups, as well as loss groups, support groups as well. So you can seek support through support groups in your community. And of course, there's the faith based community. You can always get support through a church, synagogue, or mosque, or the individuals who, I was going to say pastors, pastor rabbis, and I'm not sure who provides, I don't know, counselors in these in the faith based community. And I know that there was another, I don't know where my other question is, but I'm going to go through it real quick. I missed it on the slide. Okay. So I had a question that said, what do I mean by living mindfully? You hear me saying living mindfully. We need to live mindfully. So I want to read John Kabat-Zinn's definition of mindfulness, and then I can give you my view of what living mindfully is. Living mindfully is by John Kabat-Zinn is awareness that arises through paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally. And so my idea or my view of mindfulness, living mindfully is being attuned to each and every moment. So being attuned to each and every moment. And when I say that, I basically say this. We want to stay present, not jumping into the future and wondering what the next moment is going to bring, and not living in the past about what has happened. So basically, let me give you an example. When we're walking, when we're eating, drinking water, getting the mail, focusing our full attention and awareness on those activities, using our five senses in the moment. What am I hearing right now? What are the sounds that I'm hearing? What am I seeing? What am I tasting if I'm tasting something or eating something? What am I smelling? Also, what am I feeling on my skin? Do I feel the coolness of the air on my skin? Do I feel the sun on my skin? What am I feeling? So when we're talking about living mindfully, I'm basically saying being attuned to what is going on in the present, to the point where we can use our five senses and we're not missing out on anything. Because sometimes we can miss something that can bring joy to our lives, or that can be exciting or quite interesting. Whoo, so that's it for now. I want to thank all of you for being a part of this Stress Talk Live with me today. We'll be back. No, I won't be back next week. I'll be gone for 2 weeks, you all. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo. I'll be gone for 2 weeks, but I'll make sure I post something really special on Sundays so that I'll keep you informed about what's going on with me. That's all for now. I'm glad you joined me as always. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Appreciate all of you for watching. And as I said before, take good care.